What it do? Dead Time Crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to talk about UFC Noche, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm not mad at the card. I'm not mad at the bout order. I'm happy with the matchups that we've been given for the top three fights of the card, especially. I'm going to be talking about the announcement of the card, what I think of it, and I'm also going to be giving my predictions / breaking down really quickly the main event, co-main event, and featured fight of the card. But Baldy Dana White, after he was done crying about Bilal Muhammad becoming champion, after he was done trading Muhammad Bakayev to the PFL for a bag of chips, he announced this card. And a lot of people are really mad because we got a great main event of Sean O'Malley. Dude, imagine not letting me headline the Sphere, dude. That would suck so bad, you guys. Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili in the main event. Great fight. Co-main event, Mickey Mouse champion Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. For the 14th time, I believe this fight is happening. It's going to be crazy. Featured fight. I'm glad you asked. Listen, dude, I'm fighting Diego Lopes, dude. It's part of the storyline. You know, we've also got Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne on the main card. And we've got Daniel Zellhuber. Basically, Ryan Garcia versus Esteban Rivovic. This is actually a crazy good fight. But a lot of people are kind of mad at this bout order. Saying that, you know, Ode Osborne doesn't belong on the main card. We've got unranked people in the main card. I understand that criticism. I understand that, and I can agree that. Come on, dude. Ode Osborne on the main card, but let's be fucking real here, bro. There's only on every UFC pay-per-view about 3 to 4 fights that everyone actually gives a fuck about, right? Like, I'm just gonna say that for real. I'm already invested in this card because we've got Sean O'Malley versus Merab. We've got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. I'm gonna be watching this. I'm excited, man. I'm also looking forward to Norma Dumont fighting. I'm going to be watching that very closely. I really want to see her skill levels improve. That's what I'm watching for, you know? And Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes is a fucking banger. This should be on the main card. That's what I'm going to say about this bout order. This fight should be on the main card. Torres versus Bahamondes. I wanted to see Ignacio Bahamondes versus Jalen Turner. I think that would have been a really sick matchup for this card. But my only real complaint about this card, when you think about the fact that, like I said, every pay-per-view, there's really only 3 to 4 fights that people actually give a fuck about. My only real, disappointment with this is 10 fights. 10 fucking fights is all you can do. What, is there a time limit in the Sphere? What do you mean we can only do 10 fights? Come on, dude. You should have added fucking Dan Ige to this card. I would have loved to see Dan Ige versus Joanderson Brito, or Dan Ige versus Chepe Mariscal, which was supposed to happen already. Put that on the card, bro. That's a great opener to this, you know? Throw in, Trevor Peak versus some Mexican dude, right? I'm sure he would love to do that. He'd probably take that for free. Knowing Trevor Peak. Listen up, alright? I'm Trevor Peak. You know, I'm sure he would have been fine with that. That's my only real complaint with the bout order of the card. I think these are all exciting matchups. If the theme is Mexican Independence Day, I'm not mad at the fighters utilized on this card. The bout order, I think just one more good fight on the main card. Doesn't even have to be a super big name. I'm not asking for, dude, where the frick is Max Holloway versus Ilya Topuria? No, bro. Max Holloway explained why that was not taking place. That makes sense. That's a pay-per-view headliner on its own. That's going to sell a card on its own. Sean O'Malley versus Merab is a big enough fight that I think people will be invested in. So, again, my take on this entire main card and fights is these are good matchups. It's missing maybe 1 or 2, exciting fights added to the card, but I'm not asking for, dude, we need to have fucking Islam Makhachev on this. We need to have Max Holloway. I'm actually not mad at this main card. I think this is going to be a good fight. If this was a fight night, it would be fucking amazing, but you can't put Sean O'Malley on a fight night, so I think this is a good enough card, O'Malley versus Merab, Grasso versus Shevchenko, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. That's a solid triple header that I'm invested in. And now I'm going to talk about my predictions or my thoughts on these fights. Starting off, I'm glad you asked my thoughts on this, dude. Listen, bro. What the Eagle does is he beats all the contenders. He gets 3 title shots in his lifespan, dude. That's a real thing. Eagle lives to be 70. He gets 3 title shots. Brian Ortega's winning this. My pick has not fucking changed. Y'all must have forgot. Like Roy Jones Jr. Trust. I ain't changing my fucking pick. Brian Ortega is beating Diego Lopes. Now that it's on full camp, I'm even more confident. I know that I said, I wasn't really sure if it was full camp. Diego Lopes versus Dan Ige. I know that it's short notice. I know that there's a weight difference. But I'm just saying, Brian Ortega is bigger than Dan Ige. better than Dan Ige, literally everywhere the fight goes, pushes the pace in the cardio. We've seen Diego Lopes slow down in fights, even short notice, even full notice fights. The way that he fights, in round 3, you're telling me Diego Lopes is not going to be tired. The way that he fights. Even on a full camp, the way that this guy fights, I'm sorry, it's just not going to last 15 minutes. All right? And that sounds like a lot of you, a lot of you guys. All right, I'm not going to listen. There's nothing wrong with not lasting 15 minutes, okay? But I'm just saying, against Brian Ortega, that's a problem. And I think Brian Ortega is going to push the pace. I think Brian Ortega's boxing is going to be a big factor in this matchup. We've seen Diego Lopes get outboxed by Movsar Evloev, who has fucking T-Rex arms. Diego Lopes is very dangerous in the grappling, but I just don't, like, it's Brian Ortega. It's Brian Ortega. I know that he's like a meme. I know that he's like the Eagle, but he's seriously probably the best pure jiu-jitsu in the featherweight division. Maybe in the, he's in the UFC, one of the best grapplers in the UFC. Bar none. Bar none. He's up there with like Charles Oliveira, in my opinion, based on his pure jiu-jitsu ability. And that goes for his submission defense as well. That goes for his grappling defense as well. He's a big physical featherweight. I know that he's smaller than Diego Lopes, but I think he's big enough to not get bullied by Lopes. What I'm saying, right? You know, you look at some of these other featherweights. Dan Ige is a perfect example. He can get bullied a little bit. Brian Ortega is not really like that. So I think Brian Ortega is going to be able to, you know, push the pace. He's going to have a rough first round. I do think he'll get rocked in the first round, maybe dropped. But again, he got dropped by Yair Rodriguez. Can we not... People genuinely were being like, dude, Diego Lopes smokes Yair Rodriguez. Dude, Yair Rodriguez sucks. He got dropped by Rodriguez. He's in trouble against Lopes. You have that the wrong way around. Like, what the fuck, dude? That guy fought Volk. Volk was scared to strike with him. Max Holloway had to wrestle him to beat him. Why are we acting like Yair Rodriguez is fucking terrible now? He destroyed Josh Emmett like fucking a year ago. Why are we pretending Yair Rodriguez sucks now? Because Brian Ortega beat him? That's not how it works, dude. That means Brian Ortega is still a fucking top-level featherweight. He ain't 35. He ain't 36. He's never been fucking finished by KO. Seriously. Like, Max Holloway has a TKO against him on his record. Come on, dude. That's not the same as getting put out like Sadiq Yusuf. This ain't Sadiq Yusuf. I think Brian Ortega is going to survive the early storm. I just accidentally opened Spotify by accident. Hold on, bro. Make sure some Kanye doesn't play. But dude, I think Brian Ortega is going to be able to push the pace. He's going to be able to weather the early storm. And I think in round 2 and 3, you're going to see him outbox Diego Lopes, take him down, you know, control him from top half guard, maybe look for a submission. I think Diego Lopes is aggressive enough off his back to not get submitted, but I do think that will accelerate his fatigue. And I think we're going to see a really tired Diego Lopes in round 3. Brian Ortega's on his back or in mount beating him up. And I'm going to say Brian Ortega wins this fight by decision. That is my prediction for this matchup. I think Brian Ortega is the better fighter. I think he's more experienced. And I think people acting like he's this chinny, fragile featherweight are kind of misled. Like, the fact that he got rocked by Yair Rodriguez and looked so terrible after rolling his ankle and still managed to just walk him down, take him down, submit him. That's impressive as fuck to me. And he did the same in the first fight before he got injured with the armbar. So I think Brian Ortega's got this one in the bag, but it's a tough matchup for him. I'm not saying that Diego Lopes sucks. I don't think he's a fraud. I'm not claiming a Benoit Saint Denis, you know, Dustin Poirier moment here, but I do think Brian Ortega is going to win this fight. I'm going to be real. His fate is to get 50-45 by Topuria. Like, why do you guys not realize the script, bro? Bilal Muhammad Leon Edwards storyline. That was in the script. The next script is Brian Ortega going back to the belt and getting 50-45 by Topuria. That's what's going to happen. I'm just letting you know right now. So let me move on, though, to the co-main event. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko. It's such a Mickey Mouse title run. Like I said previously in my hot takes video, if Alexa Grasso was a man, if Alexa Grasso did not have people obsessed with her feet, you guys would be absolutely clowning, hating, preying on this man's downfall if he defended his belt via a draw. You know for a fact you guys would be treating Alexa Grasso like fucking Aljo. If a male fighter, if she was a male fighter and won a 10-8 from a takedown in a round she was fucking losing. You know that's true. You know that you guys all love to talk about the fucking Abu Dhabi judges bias, the UK judges bias, me too. Where's all the slander on the Mexican Independence Day event where she miraculously gets a 10-8 and a draw to keep her belt. That's custom made for her with no defense. No, nah, dude, come on, dude. Come on, dude. That's my wife, dude. What are you talking about? She's probably gonna fucking win this fight by decision. I don't really know. Valentina Shevchenko is actually pretty good, but she's 36, and Alexa Grasso is not, nearing 40, and she probably drinks water when she's training. So I think Alexa Grasso is going to be able to get this one done. But yeah, I just think it's a bit of a Mickey Mouse title run, and I'm kind of looking forward to this whole rivalry ending, and we move on to, I don't even know, maybe Weili versus Alexa Grasso would be fucking cool. If Weili can beat Tatiana Suarez, I think her moving up against Grasso would be badass, and I think she could win that fight. But yeah, I think Alexa Grasso is probably going to get this one done by decision just with the age kind of discrepancy, and I think that she's just a little bit more confident right now and probably improved more in between their last fight than Valentina Shevchenko. Like, she's already a finished product, but yeah, dude, I just want to say, just remember, this is such a Mickey Mouse title run. I'm not going to let you guys forget that shit. I will be bringing this up regularly. I don't care that you think she's hot, okay, bro? I just got to speak the fucking truth about it, right? Last thing I'm going to talk about in the main event, I think Sean O'Malley is going to unleash an Eddie Wineland level KO on Merab Dvalishvili, bro. I think in a 25-minute fight in a big cage, Sean O'Malley is going to have enough time to put something on Merab's chin and put him on fucking Crip Street, dude. This guy's getting wobbled by Henry Cejudo, and obviously Marlon Moraes is a big power puncher as well, but still, I think Sean O'Malley is in that category, if not more dangerous, more accurate, more precise, better at finding good shots. Like, he can line you up for something. He can move around with you for a bit. He just finds something that you just have open all the time. Whether it's a right hand, whether it's the left hook that we see, whether it's an uppercut, whether it's that faking the right hand going to the knee when they duck down, which Merab will do. I just don't think Merab is good enough to strike with O'Malley at all. And I think if he just spams takedowns, it's going to be hard to pin down O'Malley in a big cage. It's going to be hard to take him down if Aljo couldn't do it. I think against Petr Yan, there was the threat of the striking that made it a little bit easier for him. But when you look at Aljo, who is a pure grappler, who, in my opinion, has better striking than Merab, more dangerous if he gets you down than Merab. Like, if he takes you down, you will get your back taken. You will get, like, in a submission attempt if you're not careful, right? Against Merab, he has one submission in his entire fucking career. So I think O'Malley's going to take his chances a little bit. If he gets taken down, he's probably just going to stand back up. I think that's going to happen. I hate to kind of reduce a fight to that, but I think O'Malley's good enough to control this guy's wrist, stand up against the fence. If he gets taken down again, just get up again. I think O'Malley has at least 3 rounds of that in him, and that is too much time where there's going to be striking in between for O'Malley to not KO Merab. I think he's going to KO him. I think it's going to be maybe the left hook rocks Merab and then the knee follows up behind it, or he's going to go left hook, right hand. I just seriously picture Merab Dvalishvili getting KO'd, like getting done like Eddie Wineland. I think bro is going to get slumped like Eddie Wineland in this fight. And I like Merab. I'm not praying for that downfall. I'm not one of these Merab haters. I think most people are kind of turning around to being Merab fans. But yeah, I just see O'Malley KOing him. I think they're going to be boys after the fight. I think Merab's going to make a sick fucking skit about getting KO'd. I do see that happening. That's going on my bingo card for this card. I'm going to be real. But yeah, I think O'Malley's going to win. I think Grasso's going to win. And I think Brian Ortega is going to get that win. I know that's maybe a controversial opinion as well. But all in all, not a bad card. These are 3 good enough fights for me to care about this card. I'm looking forward to seeing Raul Rosas Jr. in the Sphere. I pray to God they don't project his face onto the fucking Sphere. People all across Las Vegas planes are going to be crashing if they fucking put that thing on the Sphere. But no, I like Raul Rosas Jr. He's a good prospect. I'm not going to do my impression of him right now, okay? I'm going to be nice, all right, man? I'm looking forward to Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. That is going to be fight of the night. That's going to be a fucking banger. And yeah, this triple header, I'm not mad at it. And you know another reason I'm not mad at it? Actually, I need to talk about this. Because it opens up better fight night main events. People think they want this card to be, oh, why is Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez off this? Why isn't Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady on this? I don't know if people are saying that, but I could see people saying that. Because then, if we get this pay-per-view with Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns on it, and you add Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira back onto it, that's a great pay-per-view. Then the next week, you're getting fight night fucking Lemos versus, Zhao Nan or some bullshit like that, right? That's what I would rather not have. So I'm cool with pay-per-views having 4 or 5 good fights, 3 big matchups that are high in the rankings, then 2 or 3 maybe like low ranking or close to the ranking big names on the card. And then fight night main events, such as Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady, great main event. You know, Anthony Hernandez versus Michelle Pereira. I think that really benefits Anthony Hernandez. And that's a good main event. I wish it wasn't in the Apex. That's fucking bullshit. But that's a good main event. That's an exciting fight night that I want to watch now, right? As opposed to, oh god, there's nothing between the Sphere card and fucking Abu Dhabi. You know, that is what I don't want anymore. I'm sick of that shit. So I think this is actually a decent move. Obviously, I want, like I said, at least one more ranked fight on the card. But if this is what we're getting, I'm not mad at it. I'm not raging about it. I'm not boycotting the UFC. I'm happy with good fight night main events and a couple of big fights on every pay-per-view. Because I'm gonna be real, you know, my ESPN Plus subscription, you know, that's worth it to me, dude. Because I pay for ESPN, guys. I pay for pay-per-views, and you know, that's what I do, guys. I pay for every pay-per-view. So I'm happy with this as a paying customer of UFC pay-per-views because I buy them every time, just like you guys. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Though I know a lot of people are unhappy with this card. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. All right, man. Subscribe to the channel. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.